Oh, let's go. I know what's up. I got this. All right, here we go, y'all.
All our illusions will disapparate, and all the reasons start to fade.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reasons, the show where you can give your reasons why you think what you feel about what we're talking about today. We should know this, man. We say no.
Dear brother, how do y'all deal with erectile dysfunction when you're in a relationship?
I wouldn't know how to do it unless I had it. And remember, if they're talking about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason. Peace. I love y'all.
That's right, baby. No more waiting. Wake up, fat boy. It's your boy Fuel in the house. We can't wait no more. You know what I'm saying at the beginning, man. I'm tired of waiting for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gonna have to get in, miss it, or either gonna have to record it and check it out later. That's what's up.
Don't come in that fast no more, Fuel.
No. We got to. We on the time.
Hey, man.
Right.
Hey, Lift, tell this man don't do that shit no more, man. I don't even know what just took place.
Look, man, you need to stop being on CPT, man. I'm gonna need you to get right.
All right, but we got a great show for you guys today. I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all a lineup. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be talking about Steve Harvey, of course. We got to go through that and see what happened on that. You know, a little follow update on that. Hear the truth about him. You know what I'm saying, about what happened and whatever with the rumors that's going on. We're also gonna be talking about, have you brought your childhood past trauma to your adult relationship? Right? So, you know what I'm saying? So, y'all most definitely got to stay here, stay tuned for that. Have you truly committed 100% of yourself to your relationship? All right? And this weekend, Black History, we got my man, Fat Boy, going to be doing this thing about Quincy Jones. So, you know, stay tuned for all that. And for once in probably how many months? I don't know. But we have a dear sister for y'all. And y'all want to stay tuned for that by the end of the show. So keep watching, because we got a lot of stuff going on. But, you know, for now, it's your boy Fuel in the house, and we got my man
Fat Boy in the building. You already know what type of time I'm on.
He always on delay. I don't know what's up with that. And who else we got? You know, our special guest as usual, man. He's in the house, man. Go introduce yourself.
It's just me, Black Lift, Cuzzo from KC.
His house. That's what's up.
I'm just a guest down here burning up in Texas, baby. That's it.
That's what's up. All right, fellas. We're gonna get into it, man. I know it was kind of a quick thing today, but I had to try something, man, because our numbers have been going up. I ain't gonna lie, but you know what I'm saying, man. I've been getting little, tips here and there, or whatever, you know what I'm saying, to try to make us, go a little bit better and smoother. All right. So let's get into the first one, man. Let's talk about, man, Steve Harvey. I'm sure you guys have heard already the whole thing about him and Marjorie being supposed rumors of them being going to get a divorce and all this type of thing, whatever, So let me just throw this picture up real quick. Y'all see him. Anyway, the rumors that they've been, going to be divorced or whatever. First of all, I want to hear real quick, because I just did a snippet earlier this week or whatever about it. What do you guys even think about that real quick?
I mean, okay, so was the cheating confirmed or not confirmed? Then I can give you my response.
No, it was not confirmed.
Okay, so then I don't even want to entertain it.
That's good.
Why are we talking about it if it wasn't confirmed?
Because it was put, but Black Twitter, Black X now, you can't call it Black Twitter no more, but Black X was blowing up. They had all kinds of stuff on Rap Sheet, on every piece of Black media out there, except TMZ didn't have it. And to me, if TMZ don't got it,
It ain't real.
I'm not falling for it. But it was everywhere else, man. Everybody was saying that she had cheated on him
with the chef, right?
The bodyguard and the chef. Yeah. Who's the same person?
Yeah.
The bodyguard is the chef?
Yeah. He's the chef and a bodyguard.
Chef and a bodyguard. I'm like, that's a bad man. He can
Right.
cook and
Right. But anyway, man, for those that was out there and wasn't following the news to find out whether it was true or not or whatever, I basically posted something where you hear it straight from the horse's mouth. You know what I mean? As to what went on. And I'm actually going to give you guys an article that basically I can't remember which news people it was, but anyway. Steve said before he started, he said in the footage from an event on TikTok, him and Margie is fine. I don't know what y'all doing, but find something else to do, cause we fine. Lord have mercy. I sure wish I could cuss though. Sometimes you just want to respond, but I ain't got no time for rumors and gossip, he said. Right, and that's straight from the horse's mouth, right? So it's crazy how these things go, where people are really quick to mess up a good relationship, and even if it is true and it has its problems, whatever, until you really hear it from the horse's mouth, really, you know what I'm saying, and has real facts, whatever, is when you should be reporting that type of thing or whatever.
I agree.
Well, Marjorie actually, she addressed it on an Instagram post as well.
Yes, and actually, yes, Black Lift. Let me bring that up. Let me see here. She did basically say, my husband and I don't usually stop to address all the foolishness and lies that have been spread about us. Margie wrote Sunday on Instagram. However, to whom much is given, much is required. I understand that with my platform comes some sort of responsibility. Margie suggested whoever started the rumor may not be as strong as her and her husband. Facts.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay,
So,
can I ask something?
Go ahead. Oh, yeah.
Can I ask something?
Mm-hmm.
Where did the rumor come from? Do we know it? We just don't know where that comes
I
from.
don't know who started it, but there was something about her ex-husband that was actually being interviewed on something on social media. I don't want to give the wrong name or whatever, but her ex-husband was claiming how he was how Margie, her characteristics is that she was a liar, cheater, and all this type of stuff.
She cheated. Obviously, that's what I heard too. They both cheaters, though. I heard. So
yeah.
Excuse me, I'm loud. My thing about it is this. I feel like, one, I do agree with you that I think that media outlets should start to be held accountable for putting out a story that is not all the way verified. I know that I forget the New York, I think it's the Suffolk versus New York Times or Stanford versus New York Times or whatever. I know that
right.
Basically because they're public figures or they're open for the scrutiny. But I just feel like putting false allegations and rumors out about people who are, like say, are in a successful relationship, I think that's the case, and I think that's unethical.
Right.
Now, I do want to play devil's advocate. What if it is true and they both covering it up because they don't want it to come out?
Right, and that's what I said too. That's why I said if it's just, but what we're hearing now is from the horse's mouth. So however it is that they do want to cover up, or if that was the case or whatever, then let that be then. You know,
because if it comes out, so say that, okay, let's say 6
if it
months
came out later, if it came out later, it would be kind
down
of
the line that it comes out, right? That is going on. Then what do we say, right? That's why I kind of don't want to
we
get.
can trust those resources. We can trust those resources better than what we did. Period. Veg in the house. What's up, Veg?
And like Veg say, that's why it's just none of my business. Because
Right.
I just feel like this all could be a PR stunt, or somebody could just be creating a rumor. But my thing is, rumors come from somewhere, and unless it's like you having something wild while you're dead or something, usually rumors end up true.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah,
in the business.
Well,
in the business, unless it's like
it could be I think it could be some sort of truth to certain things that happen. Like maybe something, especially with the ex, may have truly happened or something like that, where it was some sort of truth, but it wasn't the truth. You know what I mean? And that's basically where it is, because you kind of take that truth and snowball it into something bigger. I see you. Veg is in the house. Marlon's in the house. Sean, what'd you say? Yep, it's you answering them, Woody? I mean, see, man, I don't know what the.
Well, I got too many names, cuz it's okay.
I know, right?
It's okay. We grew up with a bunch of names.
Hey, dog, I can't help it. My bad. I'm trying, man.
It's okay, man. It's okay. Yeah, like I said, in my opinion, it's definitely it's not our business.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that, when you're in the public eye, you have to expect things to come out and people to make up stuff about you and do rumors and stuff like that. And what's funny to me is that I've seen comments about it where people are like, that's why his daughter did Michael B. Jordan the way she did him.
Here's her mom. Yeah,
because,
I heard that.
that fruit don't fall far from the tree.
Right. That's what I heard. But
it's a little sticky. I think that me being always a conspiracy theorist, I think it's definitely more to the story. But once again, I'm with Veg, I'm with Black Lift. It ain't really none of our business, but since we are talking about it, it just seemed a little odd, and it'll definitely be detrimental to Steve Harvey's brand, right? If this is true, because a big part of Steve Harvey's brand is being the super husband, is being the relationship guy. So it could be also PR as well. So we got to also look at that as well. Like that would really kill the Family Feud guy.
That's what a lot of people had commented and said. They were like, man, if the relationship man Steve Harvey can't get it right,
nobody
hope
can.
I have. I mean, I guess I ain't never gonna have a relationship.
Yeah. And I think that's what made it so important, or so like you said, to so important to find the truth, to figure out really what's going on or whatever. So because of the way that we are, and some of us look at them as far as a couple in a relationship and look up to them, whatever, it's kind of hurting or disappointing to see someone have to go through that. Even if they do, if it was true and they got to go through it, it's still bothersome or whatever, but we hope that we can, learn by others' experience as well as like always, you know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing or whatever that I actually get from it when it comes to this whole thing. I don't look at it like, whether it's really true or not. I look at it as like what I basically take from it, if it was true, or if it's not true. You know what I mean? And when it's not true, I just want to find out what the truth is, period. You see
what bothers me about it is that if it is the truth, to me, it's something that he should actually speak on. I mean, I know he spoke on it.
Yeah.
But he ain't, all these off the cuff remarks, instead of just coming flat out saying, look, it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. Period. It didn't happen.
Well, you can't. Yeah, I didn't think about that. You did. I mean, he did say we are fine. He didn't say like that's bullshit. That's right. You know what I'm saying. It's wrong. You know what I mean. He said we're fine. You know what I mean. And she basically, vouched as well. So Period. Like you said, like we said earlier, in case somebody, if they want to be up in the business or whatever the case would be, and snowball it into something bigger than what it is. It could be some truth in there with maybe a Rocky thing going on, or it could be the whole rumor thing of the ex talking shit just to get his.
It could definitely just be him hating.
Exactly, him hating. Let's get into the comments real quick, guys. So I don't want to get too far. We're getting something in. Who we got? Hey, you remember shit, I can't. You remember Snoop Dogg? Fat Boy, you remember Snoop? What happened to our I hit something. I did something.
Yeah, you hit something, man. You switched musical chairs, bro.
I was like, what happened?
I'm getting dizzy, dog.
Rumors true about Lynette Snoop. I think that's Marshall. That's Marshall. Man, Marshall, you stupid, man. Whatever.
Marshall, goofy ass.
I had to read it. I thought Snoop was here. Let's see who else we got. You said something about Veg said. Like, how would that affect any of us realistically? It doesn't change our life, nor does it really change what we do, and we will. And we still got to get paid. I mean, we still got to pay bills anyways. That's what Veg.
100%.
Well, that is true too. But you still have people that you look to. You know what I'm saying, and look up to as far as a ideal or a good relationship, huh?
I don't look to Steve Harvey and Marjorie for.
I can truly say
don't either. And I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all.
A lot of people do. I can't say I don't.
Oh, a lot of people do.
Look, I'll keep it a buck. When they start throwing out Bible scriptures, I give them the side eye.
Really? Interesting. Okay. What else did you say, Veg? Veg said that would be a great way to ruin his image, right? So maybe we should look into the person that has a reason to ruin his image. Exactly. And that's the ex-wife. I mean, the ex-husband.
I can see that rumor coming out, but this is what I'm saying. What if he knows something about what's going on that they don't want nobody to know, and he released it? And because he don't have no real credibility, I'm just playing devil's advocate. I really don't care.
No, it makes sense.
I'm just saying because the way that they both released statements almost simultaneously, even though y'all read them separately, it just still sounds like it was all PR. I swear to you.
Well, I mean, both things put in. No. It was. Let me take that back. I don't know for sure about the TikTok or tweet or whatever from Marjorie, but I have the sound bite of actually Steve Harvey saying those things I just read to y'all.
Okay.
So that's that's why I say I heard it straight from the horse's mouth. Not from Marjorie, but I did from Harvey. You know what I'm saying? So
because
Vince made a point too. We got to stop looking up to celebs. You know what I'm saying? And we cannot base our lives on them or whatever. But we do have ideals of that what we like to have or whatever by seeing certain celebrities or whatever in a good space, in a positive space. You know what I'm saying? And that's so when that's tarnished or when that's rumored or anything, then people gets kind of riled up and like, damn, what's happening? That's just life. It's part of life. All right, man. I wanted to get that off my chest early, man. You know what I'm saying? Get it on off my chest. But we got what we got, man. It's like you, Fat Boy. You up, man? This week in blackness. Who we got this week, man?
This week in history and blackness, we got another great brother. We got Quincy Jones, known as Quincy Delight Jones Jr., American songwriter, record producer, composer, arranger, born in Chicago, March 14, 1933. Then he was, reared in Bremerton, Washington, where he learned to play the trumpet, and he played. He did gigs with a young pianist by the name of Ray Charles. He then moved on, of course, to work with the likes of Dizzy Gillespie, but he got his start with Lionel Hampton, and he went on the road with him, and the rest is pretty much history. It was so many stats on him, y'all, this week. I really had to condense it. The stats is ridiculous, but I'm gonna go Rock and Roll Hall of Fame 2013. In 1964, he was named vice president of Mercury Records, thereby becoming one of the first African Americans to hold a top executive position at a major American record label. Nominated for 75 Grammys, won 25, 7 Academy Awards, Emmy for Roots miniseries, 1977. He produced Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. He's most notably known for the Thriller album. He did the soundtrack for The Heat of the Night. The man is
Get that. I was going to say. Go ahead.
The man is everywhere. Like when I say Quincy Jones raised everybody on here. You like something that Quincy Jones did in the house. I can go on. It was so much stuff, y'all, that I knew I could not read everything. So go check out Quincy Jones, man. One of the greatest to ever do it. Studied in Paris, France, under a great composer. Man, Quincy Jones, dude, is that dude, man. I didn't even know he helped produce The Color Purple.
Oh yeah. You watch a lot of these movies, you'll see his name in there as either producer.
For The Wiz. I mean, just he everywhere, man. He everywhere. I mean, he probably, I would say, out of all of the people we've done, I really want to know. Oh, he known for sex trafficking. That's crazy. We ain't gonna do that.
Well, you know what? And it's funny when she said it. I never heard that. You know, that could be. Huh?
That threw me all the way off.
Right.
Hold on. I gotta do a disclaimer for History and Blackness.
Yeah.
History and Blackness is not highlighting the things that they do in their personal lives and their criminal activities, okay? This is to highlight the person, right? The person and the achievements in the African American community, always to bring hope. Everybody has dark skeletons in their closet, and I try not to bring them up, right?
All right. Did you hear that, Paige?
I try not to, because we can go all over, because a lot of the people that we've mentioned, we can say something about, right? But I prefer not to do that because I don't want to tarnish a legacy that is not my position to tarnish, because I have to deal with God for those ingressions or those transgressions. He got to deal with the maker. But let's
go to Hollywood Bowl. No, I didn't go to the Hollywood Bowl's 90th birthday. Is he still around? I guess he is still alive, ain't he? You know, people get so old, you be thinking like, are they still here?
I mean, he just turned 90, like you said. He just turned 90.
Yeah. Veg said look him up on Oprah, with Oprah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's something we have to look into. I don't know if he got any property though there in Hawaii with her, with the whole fire things going on or whatever. I don't know.
Probably do.
Is he part of that? That's the question. But still, as you disclaimed though, Fat Boy, you know, this is not more so.
History Blackness is to highlight,
yes,
and capture and honor the good things that they've done in their career.
Right.
We've all done things that we ain't proud of. And of course, I ain't into sex trafficking. I don't condone sex trafficking. I have a daughter. I'm not even into that type of business. But I'm not talking about Quincy Jones, the sex trafficker. I'm talking about Quincy Jones, the American composer, arranger. I mean, damn near American man. Just phenomenal at what he does. The best in the damn business.
Exactly. Yes, indeed. Did I do that? I'm tapping things on my daggone.
Man, if you don't keep your fingers off them buttons.
No, that was Fat Boy. I think he went in and out. That was you.
Because you didn't kick me out of here.
Do that, man. Silly.
No, he trying to move you out, man.
I didn't do that.
Trying to move me out.
I did not do that. I don't know what y'all talking about. Yeah, true.
But yeah, no. It's so I just feel like, but shout out to Quincy Jones, 90. I looked at the damn thing. No, this was so crazy. He's won a Grammy damn near every decade.
Mm-hmm.
He got a Grammy for every decade. I didn't even know where the fuck he gets 7 Academy Awards from.
I don't know, but
did he find them? Like Quincy Quincy got so many damn awards. He just got a mysterious Emmy for Roots miniseries. Like, what you doing, bro? Hey, what you doing on
Right.
Like, you got so much spare time that you got a Emmy for a miniseries.
Right. I'm a little late. Who's that? Rob. Rob is in the house. What's up, Rob? That's why I don't trust celebs. That's what Veg is saying. That's why she don't trust celebs because of their, I guess, criminal activities.
There's
I don't know, but anywho, all right, man. All right, man. Let's go. Let's get into it. Let's go. All right. So this next topic, you guys, have you brought your childhood past? Have you brought your childhood past into your adult relationship? Have you ever brought your childhood past into your adult relationship? Let's see who I want to start with that. What, Fat Boy?
Oh, you gonna throw me on the you know what? I want to start to say this, man. Whoever coming up with these titles, man, they doing a really, really good job at this stuff, man.
No, that was me. That was all me. That one right there was all me. I have to take credit for that one.
He stays stealing my ideas. You see this man? Hey, but no, look.
That was actually you, dog. That was you.
No, absolutely. I do think, and that was actually why I brought it up.
Anyway, go ahead.
After doing, you know, because I do the therapy, you know what I'm saying? So after doing therapy, I hadn't realized that a lot of the issues that I have developed over the years weren't necessarily from past relationships, but actually from the original relationships that I was supposed to be cultivating as a youth, which is as a child. So a lot of them come from childhood, stemming from the abandonment, stemming from my mom not always being there necessary sort, or just the certain things that I deal with that I brought with me into the relationship unconsciously, right? Because I didn't even know these things were an issue. I truly didn't even know that they were really affecting and bothering me with dealing with, you know, maybe my pops not being there at some points of time in my life and how that hardened me. You know what I'm saying? Maybe told out, you just whatever as a kid that you told, oh, you gonna be all right, or you a kid, it don't really matter. It did matter, and it affects you when you move on, because once you start to get in these situations where you are triggering certain emotions stemmed from childhood, stemmed from you know, like your past traumas, and you don't know that this is a trigger for you, so you react to your spouse in which the way you would want to, as if you did when you was a defenseless kid. So yeah.
What about you, Woody? I mean, Black.
All right.
My bad, man. My bad.
So I'm a piggyback off of what Fat Boy said, and what Rob Jackson said. We all do to an extent, because when you're a child, all of your relationships are going to be structured based on what you were brought up around.
Come on.
So for me personally, one thing that I know is that, so I was pretty much raised by a single mom, and I'll keep it a buck. You already know, man, my dad was a hoe, man, period.
Right.
My dad, when he died, I had like 4 sisters show up at his funeral. I didn't even know I had. I'm like, who just crying about my daddy?
Right.
Who is this? You know what I mean? So when you're a child and you grow up in a broken home, or in a home that's not stable, or in a home with adults that are not properly teaching you the right way to go about relationships,
right?
What's going to happen is you're going to go one of two ways. So like with my father, and I talked to my current wife about this. With my father, I was going to go one of two ways. I was going to be exactly like my dad and just be a hoe and run around and cheat and do whatever, or I was going to do my best to be the exact opposite.
Right.
Now, what happened to me is I tried to be the exact opposite. Now, that can also cause trauma, because then you end up staying in relationships that you should get out of, but because you don't want to be,
Wanna be like your dad.
central
Come on
figure,
now.
exactly.
Come on
Because
now.
you don't want nobody calling you, man, you just like your daddy.
Mhm.
Blah blah blah. You feel what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
that I carried that trauma through, and I stayed 29 years in the marriage. But I probably should have got out at about 10, maybe 12. You know what I'm saying?
When do you think you like caught yourself though doing those things, or realizing it was something from your childhood that causes you to bring that into the adulthood? When do you think you realize that?
I pretty much knew that from jump,
Mhm.
because my thing is that I really did not. I look, we all have to face facts.
Right.
I flat out hated my dad
Mhm.
because the way he treated us, the way he ran around, the way he treated my mom, the way he did things, the way he did. So my goal was to be the exact opposite of my dad.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to make sure that any relationship I got into it, I was going to put 120% in, and like not, I'm not going to give up just because of this or because of that or because of this. I was really going to give it my all.
Right.
And so because of that trauma, once again, I stayed in a dysfunctional relationship that I now realize harmed my kids.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean? Because now my kids, they saw me just stick it out in a dysfunctional relationship.
Yeah. You took a lot.
Man, you
More,
don't even,
more than what I know daggone well that I would have taken. I wouldn't, I mean, I just, as you can see, that's why I haven't been in a long marriage. 'Cause hey, if it ain't right, it ain't right. You know what I'm saying? What Facebook say? I think this is Marshall. He said he heard Fat Boy still likes to be nursed.
This nigga, wow. Hey man.
I don't know why. Hey, every other week or so, we get somebody crazy, and that's.
I was gonna say only by your woman, Marshall, but I'm married man.
Hey, Marlon said I totally agree with Fat Boy on that. For real. Yes, sir. For myself, man, I haven't. I'm trying to think if I actually brought any drama. My mom passed when I was 12. So it's and I was raised by my aunt. So some of the traits and things that I've seen were either by my uncles growing up or my aunts, and of course my grandmother is the one that raised me. So I guess I never really thought about it as what I'm saying, something that happened as a young person. I don't think I've ever thought about if I brought it into the relationship. Like,
I mean, you never really look. We grew up in the same house, bro. You never really had a positive male role model in your life.
True, that is true.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So just subconsciously, that's gonna affect you.
Easy call.
To a point of.
Well, you know what? And I understand. I get what you're saying with that Black Lift, but with my grandmother, and Mama, know that she was very, religious, and and with that Christianity, it kind of brought a lot of balance of what I had to look for positive, things in my life, as far as structure, a positive outlook, a positive career, and stuff like that, or whatever. You know what I mean? So that kind of like what helped me, to get over the fact that my mom wasn't around anymore. You know what I'm saying? Right. I didn't know my dad until we was 30-something years old. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it's kind of like, I didn't have that, like you said, that role model. I never had that role model, but I have God to me, and Christianity to me, to the point where I believe in the strength of myself and those that are around me that are actually really on a positive, manner as well. So, I think that's, but it is a true fact though. I never had that growing up, and I don't know if I've ever implied that into any relationship that I've had. You know what I'm saying? Because I try to be positive in any relationship. You know what I'm saying? But I've never. I'm gonna take it back a little bit. Because I have gotten to a point where I'm not as patient. I wasn't as patient as I used to be. I mean, I'm not as What I'm trying to say, I'm more patient now than what I used to be.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like as a kid, I wanted stuff bam, 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 bam. When I got older, it's kind of like I've learned on my own what it takes to get here, what it takes to get there, what it takes to, having the shows like this or whatever, learning the whole mental aspect of things that you have to heal and grow. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like, where I've been with it, when it comes to that, when it comes to something like that and bringing it into a relationship, because I kind of know, you kind of know the right and the wrong, but you just never know if that's the thing that's going on with you sometimes up until it's done and you're trying to go forward, with someone else, Anything else? You guys got anything else? If not, I got, where did it go? I had something here, y'all. Hold up. I had a whole little thing going on here. Where'd it go? Huh?
I would say that you haven't noticed that you've brought it with you because you haven't addressed it. I think that when you start to address a young man who lost his mother at 12, right? When you start to address a young man that didn't meet his father to a certain age, no matter if you had a certain level of balance of Christianity, there are still some traumas of abandonment. There's still some traumas of having to have it a certain way because of the things that you witnessed as a child. And I think that what we do is we kind of slide over that, right? That in itself, right, disturbs your connection with the woman because you lost a huge emotional bond at a young age.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like the biggest emotional bond that you could ever develop with someone was cut short early. So that also has an issue with when you deal with relationships, it can have an issue with why it's easy for you to disconnect, right? Because it's like shit. The real emotional bond I've ever had, that was gone at such a little short time. And once again, those adolescent relationships that we develop, those are the ones that are our true identities. Those are the ones that make us who we are. Those are the ones, the reason why we are the way that we are. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think that as men, what we do is we kind of look over that and we don't really say, okay, this could have been an issue, but because we've gotten over it and we've pushed back past it, we think it bother us, and then we don't think that it comes up or shows up. But what I've learned is that because I'm in the relationship that I'm in, and this constant communication and this constant triggers for me, because I was not taught at a young age to articulate my emotions the right way and to do certain things with my emotions. So it becomes complicated because challenging conversations become uncomfortable for me, because the only way that I know to deal with these triggers are to fight them, because I wasn't able to fight with them as a child. And so I would say that I think that subconsciously, kind of like Rob said, I think we all do it, right? Because we don't really even know what those traumas is. I think Black Lift touched on just his trauma. I think you have the opposite of what he had, right? You leave too fast and he stays too long, right? Because the opposite of your pops not being there and the opposite of what his pops was. So I think when we talk about certain things, we really have to address those things. That's why I kind of want, I love you have Black Lift on there, because I think brothers, for sure, we kind of to address these things, because not only is addressing these things making me a better man in a relationship, but it's making me a better man for myself, because I'm beginning to address things that really truly affect me that I thought that didn't, and I thought that I was over.
That's the number one thing, is that we as Black men, or in the African American community, we don't embrace counseling.
No, we don't.
You know what I mean? We will look the other way and be like, "Ah, man, I'm good, I'm cool, whatever." But I know for a fact that I've gone to counseling and it's helped me a lot. And you know,
Right.
being able to talk through things and talk about things, it makes you discover those childhood traumas that you never even knew that you
do.
had.
They do.
But like
True.
I said, I knew for a fact. I mean, but I knew it myself that you
Yeah.
know I wanted a family,
Mm-hmm.
and I wanted to take care of my family. I wanted to raise my family. I didn't want to have stepdad, stepmama, blase,
Right.
this,
Right.
that, the other. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, like I said, I stayed in a relationship that I should have got out of.
Yeah. You
But
fall harder than you
yeah,
probably
I
should.
stayed longer than I could, But once again, now that my kids are in their 30s and they older, they've come to me and told me, man, we knew y'all was messed up from jump. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah.
and I kind of think that we would have been better off had y'all gone y'all separate ways,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
we would have had two healthy people raising us as to one dysfunctional ass couple that's raising us.
Right. And that's very mature, but obviously you had to teach them something, or they had to learn that from
You
somewhere,
gotta learn
right?
it though.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They had to learn to recognize that they had to learn it from somewhere. And but the only thing is like you said is or like they said is they probably should have said something sooner.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? They probably should have said something, but they look at you guys as the adults. So they feel like that you know what you're doing. You know what you're talking about. You know how to handle this or get through it or whatever. So yeah.
But kids and teenagers, when they get to a certain point, they can see what's going on.
Of
You know
course.
what I mean?
Yeah.
And so they when they start picking up those vibes, that's when it comes to the point where it's like, okay, yeah, y'all probably need to go on ahead and go, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Go.
Right.
Because now y'all,
Oh, yeah.
it's to the point where now we messing them up.
Oh, yeah, especially if it comes to like a shout match or not talking to each other in one room, the other one in the other room. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like that can really, and that could be childhood trauma for
Exactly.
for your
Now
kids. You know what I mean?
you're making
How they
childhood
treat
trauma.
somebody else as they come up. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So yeah. So let's get in the comments, and then what I want to do is actually give some tips as to what to do. Which I basically, of course, I had to look it up because I'm not really all that professional. I am not a professional, but still.
Hey, you could have had my wife on here. I told you my wife's a mental health professional.
Oh,
Yeah, you still
all
try.
right, yeah, we definitely need that.
Yeah, we gonna get her next time then. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get her next time. Let's go with the comments.
I swear we will. I sure will.
Yes.
Bro,
Are you thinking what?
like I said, that,
Yeah, he told me it's on and popping. It's gonna be on. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get there. All right. Marlon said, "Go ahead, fat boy. I'll let you go ahead."
Said, sometimes you react a certain way because you just want to be heard, obviously. And now that you're an adult, you feel like everyone is going to see me or hear me, one or the other. And I agree. Hey, bro, I think that you said it probably the best. That's it. I think that's my biggest argument because all of those. I think against your parents, you so defenseless, or against your elders, you so defenseless. And now that you have a voice, you're going to violently, almost, right? You're going to violently approach and defend yourself, defend your honor, defend your pride, defend your feelings, defend that, all of that, your sadness, your happiness, whatever. You're going to defend it almost to the death because of those days. You couldn't. I almost think of the great saying, a coward dies 1,000 deaths. And I think that when you are a young man or a young child, when you're taken advantage of, whether it's not physically, whether it's emotionally, and not given that space where you're kind of constantly taking little small deaths, or you're taking little small deaths of cowardness, right? And so, or doses of cowardness, and as you get older, you like, I'm not taking that anymore, and you lash out at your spouse, at the world, and at yourself, and you don't know why you feel these ways. And I think that when we start, because I know when I start to address it, now I can kind of compose it. Sometimes I can't handle it because it's so much at some time, and now I can kind of channel it and say, okay, this is affecting you because of that. And you can't take it out on them like that. Now, does it change that person did trigger you, no, it does not change that person triggered you. But what it does is it allows you to handle that trigger a different way.
Right.
But here's the problem, or one of the issues with that. As you get older, when you become an adult, okay, one of the things that I used to do and that I know is that what you have to learn is that because of that trauma of you wanting to be heard, now that you're an adult and you're having adult conversations, you need to listen to understand and not listen to respond.
That's my problem.
That's the problem. Everybody has that problem when you're older. Man, look, somebody say something to you, you just like, ooh.
You ready? Yeah, you ready to get yours out, right?
Right. You don't even take the time to listen to what they're saying. You have to listen to understand and not listen to respond.
Yes.
And I knew that. My counselor told me that, and I was like, damn, you're right, man. I'm just waiting to get mine off. I'm not even hearing what you're saying. I'm just waiting to address it. So as you get older and you become wiser, you need to listen and not listen to respond.
Right. Marlon just said, but my lady communication as well, and we talk everything out open and honest. We know what makes each other tick, or so we are able to be gentle with certain things. So you're able to be gentle with certain things, but you have to be gentle. What's keeping you from being gentle to everything? You know what I mean? And that's the part that you have to figure out or whatever too. Is kind of like, what is it ticking you, or where does the communication break down to where you're not having that gentle conversation? You know what I mean?
I don't think that's what he meant, though.
What did you think he meant? What is that?
I think what he meant was it's kind of a thing where when you have a conversation with somebody, when you have a conversation with somebody, you have to be gentle, because when somebody is vulnerable enough to tell you something, you have to make sure that you don't use that against them.
Hey, man, and so that's my challenge. It's so crazy you said that, man. That is probably my most challenging thing right now is dealing with everybody is not going to respond to your vulnerability like you think that they should.
Right.
And I think that Black Lift, man, you said something powerful. That the issue is with that Black Lift is that everybody doesn't understand that approach, right? Sure. Everybody can't be gentle with your vulnerability because they don't necessarily know how. We kind of had an episode over it. It's kind of, as my girl says, kind of a sympathy versus empathy. And I think vulnerability always deserves empathy. You know what I'm saying? Every time, no matter how you feel at the moment, I feel. And I think that with me, what happens with my communication and what happens as we go forward, because this is a great segment to the our other topic, is once I give you that vulnerability, you respond to it, not the wrong way, right? But a way that I'm not necessarily prepared for, or that I don't agree with, or that I wasn't necessarily looking for. And not shutting down, because I felt like Black Lift said, and like Marlon said, I feel like there's certain topics or certain things that you can handle with kid gloves, that you should approach gentle. But what I'm learning is the only person that I control, this is probably the most challenging thing, like I started off with, is the only thing I could really control is myself, right? Right. Once I give her the vulnerability, it no matter if they or she responds the wrong way, what I did was I helped myself, because I allowed myself to learn how to articulate and communicate my emotions through my vulnerability, right? And now now I'm also learning how to control my reaction to a person who doesn't truly understand my vulnerability or didn't respond to my vulnerability like I necessarily like them to. Do I freak out and react crazy, or do I be humble and say, okay, she's or they are entitled to their own opinion? Now, everything I'm saying is damn sure better, easier said than done. Right. But that is basically the approach and the thought process. But I definitely had to address that because Black Lift, you said, I think too as well. But that's not always the case. No, and I think that's what we deal with in relationships.
Yeah. And he said also, yes, sir, Uncle Black Lift. That's exactly what I was trying to say. That's what's up. All right. So real quick before we, that's the comments. Just going to go through a few things, and we basically have touched on it already as certain things to do if you are in, have that situation, which most of us have. Like Marlon said, most of us has been through it, But one of the things is that to accept the support, foremost, get past drama is to want to heal and be willing to accept the help and support. It might turns out that much of your healing journey occurs alone, or might involve a lot of community support or individual therapy. Whichever route it's going to take naturally, you'll have to be the best of recovering well if you are in the space of accepting the support. So that's basically, one of the things that you can do, definitely do or whatever to get through. The other thing is connecting with others, say for instance, like we're talking like now, connecting with others or whatever, talking to them, whether or not they attend a support group or around Healing It will help you connect with other people. You don't need to center your drama with the group, and you don't even necessarily need to talk to other people about your trauma if it doesn't feel like the right move for you. You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like being conscious of what, who you talk to and what you talk about with those people. You know what I'm saying? It says exercise, physical movement is good, to help, healing as well. Exercise and physical movements also provide your body with much needed feel-good chemicals like, I cannot pronounce the word, endorphins. Oh, yeah, I said it right. Endorphins. Yeah. Anyway, where did that college degree go from? And also practice self-care. There's a lot of more that basically that we can go real quick. Avoid recreational substance. That helps. Taking breaks. That helps. Practice mindful or meditation, and that helps. So if you guys want to, read more on there, I basically put that on verywellminded.com, and they'll give you those steps or whatever, those things that you can use to help you get through trauma. All right, or heal from trauma. All right, man. All right, let's move on. Shoot, what we got?
Fellas, I want to say that that's a great segment. I think that brothers need more conversations like that.
Exactly.
For real.
Yeah, we will.
I think that amongst each other, if we start making it, normalizing it, I think a lot of brothers will get a lot of help, especially the brothers I know, especially the brothers that's been through the streets, man. There's so much trauma out there that they dealing with that they're not addressing because we've been taught we got it. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
This is definitely important. And
holding it in a lot longer than we need to.
And through talking about relationships and being a better man for the woman, you become a better man for yourself. So shout out to that, man. Shout out to you fellas for that great segment.
Mm-hmm. Very That's good. What's
thank
up.
Thank you.
I don't have my buttons today. All right. So this next segment, you guys, it's about having been committed 100% to your relationship. All right, 100% to your relationship. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play this video, and for you guys out there that are watching, I know y'all not, it's no volume on here. You just want to see the actions. You can tell what those actions is and see if you actually been through that or someone that has. And we're gonna comment on it. Why you laughing, fat boy? I'm doing so crazy.
Hey, play the clip, man. This man crazy. Hey, Black Lip, hey, get your cousin, man. Hey, get-
All right, here we go.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Just play the clip. Play the clip.
Here we go.
So let's go.
Silent night.
Hey, this dude,
Hey, hold on, Lip. Why you look confused? Why you look confused?
because he is, because I am too.
I mean, dude, look. I mean, I knew what that was when you played it. You know, she done found some chick's number on dude's phone.
Yeah,
She
he
like,
was
why you,
true.
blah 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 blah. I
He was
mean,
true.
Which goes to the question: are you truly committed 100% to your relationship? You know, and that's like, you know, like why or why not? And to me, a real commitment 100% is that she should, for one, she should be honest, like freely to go through your phone. He was arguing the fact that she went through the phone. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to like you in a relationship with this person. You know what I'm saying? So if you're that committed to it 100%, it's okay for her to go through the phone
That's tough.
because there's nothing to be found.
That's tough. Baby.
So that's why I wanted to see what you guys think. You know, are you truly committed? Well, I know y'all in relationships. You're married. You're in a relationship, newly, Fat Boy. Would you say that you committed 100%?
That's a great question, and I threw this.
Man, we don't want to know why you do it. We want to know.
No. Through, I would say not 100%.
And why not?
Not like far as like the commitment in far as the personal thing, but just emotionally, and things like that. I think that there's some things that I have to address and check as well, because we kind of
check or work on,
which I am working on, but I think we kind of addressed it earlier. And that's why I said it's a perfect segment. I think that one of my big issues is dealing with how to move past once I give you my vulnerability and you don't use it like I want you to. I have a tendency to hold it against you. Right? I have a tendency to kind of like, you fucked up once, you ain't gonna fuck me again. And so every time you do it, I kind of build up a wall. I haven't noticed it until lately, right? And lately, I kind of established it. Where that's why I kind of got to. I wanted to talk about it because I think that we will. You know, everybody said, "Well, I've been always 100%," and it's like I don't think so, right? I think that there's a lot of things that we bring into the relationship that we don't know that we have that is hindering us from being our full selves.
Okay. All right. Victor, that's Pops. He said that fuel commitment does not mean you give up all your privacy. And that's not to say you give up all your privacy, but I mean, would you? It depends on what you put up as a board. You know what I mean? What's the borderline, or you know what I mean, that you put up within the relationship or whatever? Was that discussed or whatever? As far as like, is it okay to go to my phone, or if it's okay to do this or whatever? Was that discussed or whatever to the point where maybe what do you have so private in your phone that your significant other can't see? You know what I mean? And that's that and that's just saying whether you're 100% committed or not. You know what I mean? You could be. And I might be wrong, but that's why I like the question, and that's why I like the answer that Pops just had, because I want to address this and see what you think is.
I like what he said, and I'm gonna let Black live because I know he got something to say. I like what he said about that, right? I think that within a certain 100% of commitment, there should still be a certain level of privacy with yourself as well, because there should be a certain level of truth. Now, not necessarily the phone, right? Not necessarily that. There should be still some level of privacy for both spouses within the relationship. I think that we do coincide the words together, right? That commitment means lack of privacy, and I think that that's the opposite. I think that commitment establishes privacy, but also builds a personal and emotional bond.
I would I would myself.
So great comment, Pops.
Yeah, it is a good comment because to me myself, if I'm 100%, and now even if I have my own certain privacy or whatever, I should still be 100% to the point where. And the reason I guess and that was I guess I chose that clip was because the phones, electronic, social media, all of that plays a part of a lot of relationships these days, and a lot of people break up because of it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I use that as a part of being 100% as opposed to being just 80% of into the relationship. Because if I basically, when I get to that point where my wife or my woman can actually see that, can answer my phone, you know what I mean? I'm 100% in. That's all I'm saying. And that's just me for my personal, but it's not everyone's because it depends on what that discussion is or where your boundaries are within that relationship that you feel to feel committed 100%. Did that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What you have? What you got, Wood? I mean, damn it, Black Lip.
leave it alone. You good. You good. Okay. So for me, look, I have me personally. I have two phones. Okay.
Oh, I think someone said that too in the comments.
I have two phones, but my wife has access to both my phones, and I don't hide it. I don't put it nowhere. If you're not doing nothing, then you don't have nothing to hide. Number one.
Point.
You know what I'm saying? She can get into my phones anytime, anywhere, any place. Because that has nothing to do with nothing. But she trusts me enough to not do it. You know what I'm saying? Now, just knowing she can is enough for her.
Yeah.
And if I give it to her, I give it to her.
She respects your privacy, though, at the same time.
Exactly. But once again, I have to
having that trusted understanding of your privacy and also knowing that if I wanted to, I could, is what strengthens that relationship to be 100%.
Exactly. 100%. 100%. But once again,
you just hit it on the nose.
Once again, I don't care. She don't care. I can get into her phone. Look, she got an iPad. I got an iPad. I got two phones. At one time, I had three phones because you know me, I'm a tech hoe. I had an Android Note, and then I had two iPhones and all that stuff. But like I said, it's just for the tech. But if she wanted to go through my stuff, she could.
Right.
It doesn't bother me at all. Now the commitment part is okay. If you're committed, either you in or you out.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the bottom line. You know what I mean? And like, but once again, you can't. Me personally, I'm on a second marriage. She's on a second marriage, so therefore, it's a lot. I don't want to say. I'm trying to say it's easier because you understand what you did the first time that kind of messed it up. You know what I'm saying? So like my first marriage, like people in their first marriage, they kind of tend to like want to blame it on one person.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do that. My first marriage, I keep it a buck. Nigga, I cheated.
Yeah.
When I worked with a railroad, boy, I was in them streets like a madman.
Talk about that again. That's
a madman, bro.
I remember.
There was reasons behind that.
Right.
So, but once again, I accept my responsibility in the destruction of my first marriage.
Yes.
And so I don't tell nobody that, all right, man, she was this, she was that. She was, but I stay away from that. I say what I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so now with my second marriage, my wife knows everything I did in my first. Because of that trust and that commitment that I have to her. And so, I've learned that, you and like Victor says, you have to have real trust. You can't have fake trust. You got to have real trust.
Real trust. Exactly.
Trust. Like, look, when you get in your car and you go somewhere, trust that she ain't gonna get on your iPhone and do that track me shit and find out where you at and blah.
Right.
But if she do,
that's the space that she shouldn't have to be in from the first place. You know what I mean? She shouldn't have to be in that space to like, oh, I gotta find out I gotta look and see where he's going, whatever. Because then that's a means of destruction pretty soon. You know what I mean? After a while, that's gonna blow up.
Right.
Go ahead.
I have a question for y'all. because we talked about this, right? What if I think I'm all in, right? And I'm doing all of the things that say that I'm all in, but yet I haven't fully addressed childhood traumas, right? And there's a certain part of me is not trusting of her, not necessarily going through the phone, but I'm not trusting her with my feelings emotionally. That's why I'm saying that. That's why I said I'm not 100% in, right? Because I'm not really trusting of her. And so because of my past traumas and because of the childhood things that I went through, I'm still having issues of learning to trust. So there is an issue with that side of the commitment, right? Right? Would that be safe to say?
Okay, but the thing is that as long as you're telling her that and you're being open and honest with her about that, that's what needs to happen. Because if it gets to a point where you, and I've told my wife this, if I ever get to the point where I feel like I want to cheat, I'm gonna be man enough to leave the relationship.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a difference from it being known as opposed to just holding it in and she's trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if it's being known, this is where you at, and you having that, and that's the thing. To be honest with you, dog, it's a strong relationship you have if you're communicating with her like that.
Exactly.
Hey, but listen, brothers, and you on your second marriage, until I met my girl, bro, I had never realized that I've never communicated with anyone properly. Like, you know, a personal, but your brother, your partner, like. You know, what I'm saying? Because it's only a few people in the world you even trust with certain levels of vulnerability. And Fuel, in your case, you lost one of them early, and that's your mama. You know what I'm saying? There's only like a few people you trust with those levels of vulnerabilities.
Yeah.
And once I realized that I didn't even know how to communicate my emotions. You feel what I'm saying? Like that shit is real. And it's easier said than done that, okay, I'm communicating, I'll give you my vulnerability. You respond to my vulnerability like I'm not expected. If I don't even know, if I hadn't took therapy and I ain't been taking therapy, I was responding wild as shit.
Right.
Like just being honest, like I was going literally off the record, and still times I still do it because not understanding that this is connected to something else. You know what I'm saying? And so I always want to continue addressing that. Even with that, we don't even know we don't know how to communicate until we actually communicating with somebody that is a communicator, if that makes any sense. Because a lot of people and a lot of women we deal with or in relationships we deal with, you ain't really communicating. You really having sex, bro.
Yeah.
Let's keep this shit 1,000. You really not communicating. You're having sex. And I think that this is the first real relationship that I had to where we actually talk. You know what I'm saying? And
That's what I said.
But the communication is not as easy as we try to say that it is, because you don't have the tools
because people don't understand that just because you're talking does not mean you're communicating.
Come on now.
You are just spitting words out of your mouth.
You mentioned tools. The tools.
You are not communicating just because you're talking.
And
exactly.
you have to be able to be. Communication is effective talking. You have to be able to effectively speak on what you're feeling and speak on what's going on with you. Yes. Part of the problem is, like I said, people keep pulling on that thread and keep pulling on and pulling on and pulling on it, and it just keeps unraveling, but it's not getting to a point where it's going to stop because you're not actually communicating. You're saying something, but you ain't telling them nothing.
Yeah. Or are they actually taking it in and actually responding in a way of understanding? You know what I mean? It's kind of like, are you taking this in and understanding to the point where, for one, this is where you know you're not communicating. You got to talk about the same thing over and over again. You know what I mean? Then obviously there's somebody's not connected. The wires is not getting. What you gonna say, Sean?
But there's also got to be a point that when you communicate with someone and you talk to somebody, right? The problem that a lot of people have is that, once again, it goes back to what I said before. You're listening to respond. You're not listening to hear. So if somebody, like, there are times where my wife will say something to me and I legit just don't say nothing because I'm trying to take it in. Because you have to soak it in, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to understand it. Delve for understanding, not just to respond.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And so I'll just sit there and I'll be like, okay, all right, let me, don't let me just jump out with a quick response. Let me think about what you said. And then come back with a thoughtful response.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Something that you actually took time to think about.
Man, you just said it. A thoughtful response. A thoughtful response. It means think about it before you respond about it. Yes, indeed.
Go off the fly off the handle. Because I think a lot of that goes to Marlon said it, you said it. Because you so used to not being heard, you just trying to get out of there. So it's like a starter. You trying to get how you feel out so fast that I think that what you're not also understanding is there's no way you could properly articulate your emotions anyway that fast. So you
exactly
take time.
That's why you have to think about it.
That you need
Stop trying to get it off. You just want to get it off.
But because you haven't listened to this, though, right? We go back to what we're saying. Because you haven't addressed the childhood trauma of that, right? You're not even noticing it, right? And I'm probably noticing it more now, talking to y'all about it, right? Because I'm in my mind playing out situations like, oh shit, I could have did it there.
Exactly.
I could have did it there, right? Because you're not really noticing it because you're trying to protect. And like I told my therapist, I never really realized that there is a little boy still living in me. And I think that a lot of times we just try to protect the little boy that's in us. And he fighting. And he's a fighting little motherfucker. He's not having it. You know what I'm saying? And I think that like Black Lips says, when you as you get wisdom and you grow older, you start to understand that, okay, I'm not even going to give my best response if I react fast. So I think the best thing I should do is listen to understand so I can properly take this in, process this, and then properly respond to it. But once again, like I said, when I'm fuzzy up here and I get steamy, pause, all of that shit jump out the window, y'all. And it'd be hard to do. But I think that what I'm learning is to start just to be more mindful of it. Say, hey, hold on, calm down. This don't deserve a response like right now. Just let me digest it. Let me process it. And then maybe not say anything right away. Maybe say something later on. Say, hey, that kind of way you said that kind of affected me in these ways, but I did hear you and I acknowledge that you said 1, 2, 3, and 4 things. Right.
And that's what it comes down to. You need to kind of hit them with, okay, out of respect, let's revisit this in about 30 minutes. Or an hour. You know what I'm saying? I want you to understand that I'm hearing what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah.
And I want to give you the respect of giving you a thoughtful response to what you're saying instead of me being mad or just throwing something out the chamber. You know what I'm saying? I want to respect you and give you a proper response. Can we do that? And I think that's going to strengthen any relationship. It's going to make it better, and it's going to allow you to a bit more.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to do something with that thoughtful response, man. Because that's almost everything. Having a thoughtful response, man. So hashtag thoughtful response. Damn it. That's what's up, man. Hey, for 1, 2, actually, I'm gonna read this comment real quick, and then we're gonna go to the next segment as well. Where'd it go? Thanks, appreciate that, Marlon, man. The 3 of y'all need to be a permanent group like the Breakfast Club. Y'all compliment each other.
I agree.
Yep. Until I end up with a relationship with a girl. I'm the single one. He's the married one, and he's the one in a relationship. Until I gonna be all then the policy is gonna be off. The best of everything with us right now. That's what's That's what's up. Hey man, so in case you guys haven't been, or have been missing it, we have a dear sister. It's a dear brother, dear sister today, but it's towards the sisters. It's a dear sister. Of course, we can't say who it is. Some of y'all might know, but some of you not. So anyway, they're anonymous, and I'm gonna play the clip and see what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think about this question that she has. Where'd it go? Here we go.
Dear sister, why is it that women have the urge to stick by a woman who is wrong, calling it sisterhood, even though that woman is wrong? All the facts show that they're wrong, but you still stick by her side. Why is that?
Let me get it one more time.
Dear sister, why is it that women have the urge to stick by a woman who is wrong, calling it sisterhood, even though that woman is wrong? All the facts show that they're wrong, but you still stick by her side. Why is that?
Okay, all right. So let me see. What do you guys think about that? Oh man, I'm pushing the wrong button too, y'all. Sorry about
that. Get that picture off the screen, man.
All right, go ahead.
Wait. Well, I don't even like answering the dear sisters because they always eat us up for that shit.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm not a woman. How am I supposed to answer that?
But I would say that I will always say that I just feel like women stick together anyway. I think that men need to practice that shit sometimes. I think that men be the first motherfucker to think he's so much better than the next man that they don't practice that same solidarity. Like,
I disagree that you should be practicing that. You know what
I mean? I disagree as well, but
because I mean the whole point is if somebody
not necessarily the wrong, right? I'm not saying necessarily wrong. I'm talking about the level of woman solidarity. I think that is become so across the board that it really don't matter if she's wrong or right. It's just that women stick together, and I think that
that's the thing, though. It should matter, though.
Absolutely, I agree.
Whatever the conversation, whatever the topic may be, that person is wrong about or whatever, that could be detrimental to their lives. Detrimental to their lives because what they're now you're giving bad advice or condoling some bad advice to this person that can mess her up for however long. So for instance, if you got a group of sisters, right, and it's a relationship topic, and she's doing something wrong in that relationship, but instead of you letting her know, but hey, and being that real sister and say, hey, no, that's wrong, but yet you're backing her, knowing that she's wrong. That's not a good look for a relationship. Period. I mean,
I agree. I'm just saying that women have grew out because I can't say too much, but I just feel like women have established a certain level of solidarity. It's a great question. I don't condone it,
but they have. Yes.
Say that across the board because they practice this level of solidarity. It just don't matter the right or wrong. I don't think it's a morality thing with them. I think it's just a woman power shit. Honestly, I think it's just women stick together. Black women rock. Women rock. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. So or women in general, they rock with the feminist movement. Period. I think that I would say that I have seen some women that there has been a new surgence or emergence of women who are starting to stand up and say, hey, we all don't condone that behavior.
Right.
We're not a part of this solidarity group, right? But I think that women...
Because it also represents you if you basically condone it.
Absolutely it does. That's why when I said I wish that men develop that level of solidarity, I wasn't talking about the bullshit because I ain't condoning no goofy shit my damn self. But
right.
What I mean by is that level of no matter what you do, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? I think that with men, nigga, you out of there, you out of there. You know what I'm saying? With us, you it's a very thin line you can play. With women, you could be in the deep, murky waters, and they gonna find a way to protect you. And I just feel like that level of solidarity, you can't argue with that, man. That's just the level.
Yeah. Okay. So say that it's a group of fellas, right? Say we're a group of fellas or whatever. All right. And we're buku tight as I don't know what, right? And you see one of your friends, because y'all in the group, but you see one of your friends doing something wrong, right? Instead of saying, dude, that's wrong, you need to correct it or whatever, you're saying that I should be able to support still what you're doing or be down with what you're doing even though you're wrong.
I'm saying that
because that's the question that she asked.
I'm saying that what women do and what I've seen them do is
I've
seen them show a level of solidarity in the front and then check each other in the background. I'm saying that you don't let your friend do no wild shit, but then you don't expose them either, right? You correct.
Okay. I get that part. Yeah.
Correct them, but you stand with them to a point where, hey, I'm with you, but maybe that ain't a good look for you, right? It's not necessarily a level of ostracization, right? You're not trying to get them out of there. You're not pushing them away. You're a group of friends. But we talking about women. Women don't give a shit about nothing.
No, what I'm saying is a group of friends, right? If you're a group of friends, but if you're a group of friends, that means that you're a friend with the others or whatever that's within that group or whatever. So you should be honest enough to be able to open up and say the truth or whatever that you just said, like you just put it or whatever.
I agree. I'm just saying that.
But they don't do that. So the question is why?
With women at the time, it's just not. They're not thinking of it like that, right? I think it's just a pure across the line. I'm sticking with the woman because I've talked to women about some shit, and very rarely do I get a woman be like, that is fucked up. She was out of pocket. Right when they want to say she out of pocket, trying to give you like a little story, like it's kind of exclamation.
Well, like she's out of pocket.
Asterisk on why she did it, and she didn't really mean it that way.
And you should understand it.
With fellas, we gonna be like, bro, you was wrong, and you was wrong because of these things. She gonna be like, girl, you was wrong, but he do be on some broke shit. You feel what I'm saying? Like, that's how, so it's like it's this level of I'm gonna say something, but I'm still gonna condone your bullshit. They ain't giving a fuck.
Okay. I'm going to truly say for you guys that's out there listening, and that actually happened in with male groups too. So to the caller, that basically happens with male as groups too, because we have, and I can say we have been guilty of backing each other when we know that they're wrong about something.
I definitely condone.
Especially when we got a friend that's a player. We know he's a player. We know it's wrong, but we still hanging with him like he's my boy. You know what I'm saying? And to whoever he's playing on or with, we're pretty much probably silent about it because that's my boy. You know what I mean? But when I tell my boy, hey, I can tell my boy, I can say, hey, nigga, you wrong, you fucked up, that's blah, 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 but you still gonna be my boy.
That's the same thing.
Right.
Is that not the
Okay,
same thing?
but to that, okay, so to that,
wait on you, Black. Go ahead.
So to that caller, there's a lot of things missing from that call.
Mm-hmm.
There needs to be some kind of context.
Okay.
So are we talking about women to women, women dealing with men, black women dealing with men, white women dealing with men? You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of missing context in that call.
No.
Okay.
She said a group of women.
Okay, no, I get it. But are we talking? But in what context? Are we talking about with dealing with men? Are we talking about with dealing with other women? What are we talking about? But beyond that, okay. So from what I understand about that call, it comes down to these days in the past, black women see themselves as the most disrespected group of people in this country.
True.
Okay. So therefore, some of them are going to stick together, even though it is bullshit. Because they feel like, okay, I'm getting disrespected over here. The last thing I'm gonna do is disrespect my sister.
Okay, I like that.
You see what I'm saying?
Is it disrespecting your sister to let them know how wrong they are, or back, or backing their lives, or truth?
It's not, but I've seen it too many times where, even though a black woman is wrong, other black women will come and be like, "Oh, black man, why are you gonna try to jump on this sister because blah blah blah?" You know what I'm saying? Even though it is wrong. I mean, I get that you a sister, but sister, you wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, but the first thing they say is, black man, the first thing y'all do is down y'all black sister and blah blah blah. So they don't want that to happen.
That kind of, you know what? That gives context of basically what I was saying. That's where it comes from. That's where it comes from. I never looked at it like that, but absolutely, that's where it comes from.
Okay, but that's the answer to our
The shit's so quiet. It's like it's an unspoken rule. Like they just do it, but that's where it comes from. I get it. I think that's where it is, because it's. I've seen it. I could tell, bro. I done told my mama the wildest shit about like a baby mama and my mama come back with what I like to call a woman response. And a response that only a woman will respond about another woman. She's not thinking of me as her son. She's thinking of a woman in solidarity.
And especially a black woman. Because it's just like, if I see another story about a chick that got 2 kids and the daddy ain't the daddy to none of them.
Yeah, that's out of pocket.
You know what I'm saying? But the first thing I want to say is, well, you stepped up, black man. Go on ahead and take care of them kids. What the fuck? What?
No, for real. For real. Hey, no, for real.
Miss me with that bullshit. What?
Yeah,
Victor said, real friends always going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. I don't agree. Real friends should tell you what you need to hear. They should tell you what you need to hear. That's what a real friend would do, because when you tell them just what they want to hear.
Well, that's what Victor said. Is he gonna tell you what you need?
Oh, that's what he said. Oh, okay, my bad.
Come on now, flip that.
Yeah, do that, Vic. All right, my bad, Vic. My bad. Don't get me, dog. Don't come at me. Oh boy.
Oh, Marshall.
Hey, it's their time to talk about Kanye's new girl.
Don't nobody want to hear about that.
Marshall, yeah, we don't give a jack about.
Hey, boy, she's the wish version of Kim Kardashian.
Right? Funk that. All right, fellas, man. Hey, that was it. I hope our caller got the answer that she was looking for. I think you kind of answered. Y'all both actually answered that pretty well. You know what I mean? Especially where it stems from. Basically, is the answer. This is where it stems from. This is why they talk. So that did answer that question. So appreciate you guys on that one. So once again, man, another great show. We appreciate you guys tapping in. Continue to hit that subscribe button in YouTube and follow us on Facebook as well. And if you see our TikToks and all that on Instagram, hit up, follow us, man. We're blowing up now. It shows we're getting better and better. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, man, and black man, you might have to be a permanent fix in this bad boy, man. So. You know, our people's we're balanced.
I don't have a job, dude. I ain't got no time.
You gotta know all that. You don't care.
He said he's free.
I know, right? I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Don't be out calling me talking about, man, dog, you know what I'm saying? I was taking a nap.
I just woke up, bro.
All right, I just woke up, man. Wow, man. You know, but no, set your alarm, dog. It's on and popping. This has been a great show. I appreciate you guys. What you got, Fat Boy?
Oh, man. Awesome show. Once again, shout out to Black Lift for coming and just giving us some game, man. I thank you for just showing up and always bringing that, that great wisdom. Once again, man, I appreciate the dear brother and the dear sister, man. And always, please send more dear brothers, dear sisters. You can get them fired up broadcasting at gmail.com. Just titling Dear Brother, Dear Sister. And it can't be no more than a minute. It could be a video or audio clip. And we're going to talk about it on the show. Me and Black Live and Fuel We're gonna show our ass out here, man. We waiting on y'all. You know that's one of my favorite segments of the show. Before History and Blackness, that was my favorite segment of the show. So get back to that. Once again, I want to thank all y'all, man, for showing up, man. Another great comments was crazy. Even Marshall crazy ass in the comments. Great feedback, man. And I appreciate y'all.
And it gets better from here, y'all. We going up. All right, so that's going to do us for today. But
remember, if they talk about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason. Peace.
All our illusions will get the parade, and all the reasons start to fade.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Reasons, the show where you can give your reasons why you think what you feel about what we're talking about today. We should know this, man. We say no.
Dear brother, how do y'all deal with erectile dysfunction when you're in a relationship?
I wouldn't know how to do it unless I had it. And remember, if they're talking about you behind your back, they behind you for a reason. Peace.